bakit nauna pang ibalita na si Doc Frasco ay hindi ka susuporta?
Ay, Joey, speaking of Duke Frasco, alam mo ba? 'Di ba yung courtesy resignation ni Cristina hindi tinanggap ni BBM? Na-retain siya. Pero alam mo ba na ang bilas ni Martin na si Terence Calatrava na siyang presidential assistant for the Visayas ay pinalitan at tinanggap?
Yeah.
Ang asawa ni Terence, kapatid ni Yeda Romualdez.
Yeah.
Meaning to say, wala na tayo dito sa Cebu.
Ibig sabihin, Martin has no backing from Malacanang anymore.
Yes.
And this is also corroborating the statement of Toby Chanco na sinasabi ni Toby Chanco na merong mga kongresista na lumalapit sa kanya asking, paano na yung ibang mga pinangako sa amin for the impeachment? Asa na yun? I-release na ba? Ineme. Ganyan. And then, Toby Chanco saying na walang ganun sinabi ang Pangulo, wala siyang guarantee. Kasi nga, lahat ng pinangako ni Martin, it has to be agreed by the President kasi siya naman talaga may hawak ng budget eh. So siya yung mag-a-approve ng release niyan. Diba sinabi?
FLR.
Oo. Ngayon, nung sa mga interviews ni Toby Chanco, sinabi niya, 90 billion yung budget na kinembot, 30 billion lang daw yung in-approve na ma-release. The rest, ayaw na raw ipa-release ni Bongbong. Ayan. Marami tayong chika today, no? Meron lang akong magmo-monologue lang ako for a moment. At meron lang akong mga topic na gustong pag-usapan. Nag-send ako ng link kay Ka-Moisture, no? At saka kay Kuyang Ibi. Tingnan natin kung lalo na si Kuyang Ibi. Nagbaka sakali lang ako kung gising pa. Ayan. So mag-join na lang sila kapag pagka-trip nila. Pagka-trip nila, ayan. Sana gising pa para meron tayong kakwentuhan ngayong gabi. Ayan. Okay? And doon naman na tayo sa ating mandatory bati. Hi Ibyang, hello. Magandang gabi. Nung isang gabi nag-join ka ng live tas nasa kama ka. Nasa kama ka na, nakita ka naming lahat Ibyang. Ayan. Amy Layugan, hello. Watching from Singapore. First honor, second honor ka, Ma'am Amy. Ayan. Hello, Jill. Sali ka ba sa fun run ni Tatay Digong sa Davao? Kayo, Miss Kifi? Yes! Yeah. Nasali ako. Magre-register ako for 5K. 5K. Tapos, sabi nila Kifi, magre-register daw sila pero sa 1K lang daw kasi syempre hindi naman sila runner talaga. Tapos sabi niya, taba-taba ako pa, magano lang ako ganyan. Pero nagpe-prepare naman na siya. Tapos nung magre-register na siya, sabi ko, yung 1K pang pet yun. Dapat may kasama kang pet. Ayun, so na-pressure naman si bakla. Ayun, sabi niya, wala pang 1K, kailangan pala may pet. Ayun, so hindi siya Ayan. So yun, ang tawag dito, ayun na nga. Pero pupunta kami. Ako maaga akong magpapadavaw. So, Ashley, magkita na tayo. Ayan. Magkita na tayo, Ashley. Ayan, okay. So yun lang. Kung kayo ay may time, no, mag-join din kayo. Mag-join din kayo dun sa fun run. It's Duterte Run. Ayan, Duterte Run. Ayan, okay. I think it's the first run dedicated for PRRD. Ayan, it's a good thing. Ayan, okay. Political Spectator PH, Marga M na ating YouTube member. Hello, madam. Aikida Janet, hello. Michelle PC. Tay Amik, hello, Tay. Kamusta ka? Dayabar Moxir, hello. Zaidi Torjesen, hello po sa inyo. Aaron Bangkud, hello. Nard TV, Ray Pileo, Femi Ariola. Ayan, Razzles Dad, hello. Ho1, Antonino Misa, Christina Iboyboy, hello po sa inyo. Linko Pines, naka-fist. Ayan. Angelo Roque, hello from Bangkok. Mudrang OFW. Naku, Mudrang OFW, naalala ko na naman. Mamaya pag-usapan na naman natin tong kalulungan ng mga Pilipino sa online gaming. Kasi ang disturbing nung post ni ni Becoming Filipino. Kilala niyo yan si Becoming Filipino. Ito yung white guy na naturalize na, naging honorary Filipino na siya because he is always making very relatable content involving Filipino lifestyle, culture, and things like that, ganyan. And meron siyang post, and it's just so real and so so real and so So sad, sa totoo lang. Pag-usapan natin 'yan mamaya, and it is a ano 'no, it is a matter that, should be talked about. Yung kalulungan ng mga tao tungkol dito sa online gaming. So, we make it our last topic. Pagkatapos later on, yung iba dyan na merong mga kwento tungkol sa online gaming, mga friends and families ninyo, na kung meron kayong kwento about relatives, or even if you yourself had been a victim of addiction sa sugal. Kasi ang problem kasi meron tong parang biological explanation yung pagka-addict sa sugal. It's a choice at one point, but when you enter the phase of addiction, it becomes biological eh. So that's why it must have intervention talaga from the government. It must have intervention from the government. Ang daming sinisirang buhay ng sugal. Diyos me, kaya wala talaga akong respeto sa kahit sinong public figure na nag-endorse ng sugal. And there is no justification sa pag-endorse ng sugal pag public figure ka and lalo man nagsasabi na hindi, choice naman nila yan eh. Hindi ko naman parang at the end of the day it is their decision. No. Ayan. Mudrang OFW Aklas Pinas, hello. Julie Ann Vigilia, hello. Rosie Baga Agustin, Vilma Arbelio, Monette Bona Cruz 72, Valerie, hello. Kumusta ka na? Kailan ka pupunta ng Inaayos ko na. May kausap ako na imi-meet na ibibigay ko yung mga requirements. Pero yun nga, parang apparently ang pinaka-feasible pala is you go to Paris first and then from there it's easier to go to The Hague. Parang ganun yung suggestion nila. Kasi if you're gonna go to the Netherlands ng rekta, sobrang stringent nung requirement. So yun. So I have to find out my way, and kailangan ko rin i-assess ang gastusin, mga anak. Ayan, dahil hindi siya cheap. Ayan. Okay. So pero malaki-laki naman yung possibility that I would be able to qualify. Ayun, ang aking middle income status ay magko-qualify. Ayan. Hello LQP Pat, Rin Grace, hello. Eloida Samaniego, Joel A. Suerto, hello. Eds Dietrich Areca, hello. Chimi, Femi Ariola from Italy, Nino Favor. Ayan. Greta Lucrecia, ayan, watching from Taiwan pala si Mudrang OFW. Ayan, okay? Anyway, ayan, dumadami na kayo dito. Mag-start na tayo. Magnet Mind 888, hello. Sino pa ba nandito? Joel A. Suerto, hello. Habang lubog sa baha ang Cagayan de Oro, ang walang kwentang president nagpa-party lang sa Malacanang, may pa-fireworks pa. Tapos di ba parang naki-party din siya sa Singapore, yung kumakanta, hindi yung gumagano-ganon pa. Sko. Hindi nila gets na people are not abhorrent dun sa pagpa-party mo per se. Hindi naman galit yung mga Pilipino na pumaparty-party ka lang, okay? In fact, very very forgiving ang mga Pilipino pagdating sa mga ganyang bagay. All we need to see is that you are doing your job. Ang gusto lang naman nating makita yung habang pumaparty ka, habang nagle-late din the evening ka pa dyan, at nakikikombo-kombo ka dyan sa ibang bansa. Or kahit dito sa Pilipinas. Sana nakikita rin ng mga tao na kapag kailangan nila ng presidente, that you are there, okay? People are not asking for you to go to CDO para pigilan yung baha doon or things like that. But, you first and foremost, you acknowledge na merong mga ganitong pangyayari. At nakita ko yung mga video nga sa CDO, grabe, no? There was a problem even before. Dahil nga parang merong merong talagang munisipyo na halos nabura dyan eh. Dahil dun nga sa kagagawan ng mga flash flood na malapit sa river. I remember that eh. Na halos mabura nga yung na flash flood talaga yung isang munisipyo halos. And this is a problem that had been a subject of even yung mga NGO works. Marami silang na-identify na mga high-risk area dyan sa CDO because of flash flood. What the Filipino are asking, and I am saying this, Mr. President, na sana ang attitude ninyo ay maging yung maging prompt kayo and sensitive sa pain and suffering ng mga Pilipino. But you cannot teach that eh. I mean, ginagawa naman nila yan eh, yung pa MRT, yung mga ganyan. Gusto nila maging one of us sila sa atin. But that is something that you cannot teach. And I think that is the difference between your kind of leadership and the leadership of PRRD and Inday Sara. Kasi when they speak, yun rin yung danas namin eh. When Inday Sara, kanina yung sa speech niya, no? Andito na si Kuyang EB, ayan. Hello, Kuyang. Ayan.
Hello.
Okay. Napabilis tuloy siya ng tangga. Sorry naman. Ayan, okay.
Hi, Joey. Hi,
but anyway, Kuya, i-puff mo muna yan at magkukwento muna ako dito. Ganyan, ng very, very quick para ma-puff mo yung kailangan mong i-puff dyan. I was saying a while ago, PRRD and Inday, the reason why they are loved by the people is because when they open their mouth and talk about their personal experiences, ang maiisip na, kami yun eh. Pag nagkukwento si Inday tungkol doon sa tatay niya, ganyan din yung tatay ko eh, as in. Kanina yung sa speech ni Inday, nung nandun siya sa Malaysia, meeting the Filipino community in Kuala Lumpur, sabi niya, alam mo kasi yung tatay ko ganito eh, yung tatay ko, ayaw niya nung umiiyak ka, ayaw niya nung, yung kumbaga parang, and I think, medyo common to dun sa mga boomer parents, ganyan, sa mga boomer parents. Kasi nung kinukwento ni Inday yung tungkol dun sa tatay niya, nag-usap nga kami dito ng jowa ko, sabi ko, alam mo, ganyan na ganyan yung tatay ko. Ganyan na ganyan yung tatay ko. Yung tatay ko ayaw niya nung yung kunwari, merong problema, nasaktan ka, nadapa ka, alam mo yun, if there is something that is painful, emotionally or physically, you don't cry. Ganon. May criticism sa mga ganitong klaseng parenting kasi parang sinasabi nila emotionally detached and things like that, ganyan, mga ganon. But sa totoo lang, in hindsight, naisip ko na that actually is the foundation of my character. Yung ganong klaseng parenting. Yung hindi sasakyan ng tatay mo yung kaartihan mo. Yung ganon. So pag nadapa ka, get up. Diba? Do not cry. Ganon. You think of a solution and move forward. Ganon. Ganon yung airpat kay ganon. Sabi ko, ito yung mga ito yung hindi kasi naranasan to nila nila bongbong eh. Kasi sila pampered. So it's gonna take an extra effort from them para maintindihan talaga nila yung dynamics ng pamilyang Pilipino. Kasi hindi ganoon yung environment nila eh. And they would never experience yung yung mga struggle ng normal Filipinos. Ayan. Hi Kuyang, ayan.
Hi Joey, hello. Kumusta? Okay lang. Hello sa mga nandyan sa yung audience.
Nakakaloka. Kuyang, first thing that we need to talk about. Medyo na to, kasi kagabi dapat nag-live ako, hindi ako naka-live. Dahil ang dami ko inasikaso dito sa bahay. Ayan. The impeachment complaint was remanded to the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives, the 19th Congress, well, at least, they signed the resolution, pirmado ng 3 tao lang, okay? Pirmado ng 3 tao na resolution na sinabi nila, kasi ang order ng Congress ay, ang order ng impeachment court is for the Congress to certify that they complied with all the constitutional requirements in terms of the impeachment complaint and provide the circumstances of the filing of 3 impeachment complaints prior to the one that they transmitted to the Senate. And number 2 is for the 20th Congress to address the issue of crossover. Ganon, yung bang nasimulan na impeachment complaint ng 19th Congress, magko-crossover ba to sa 20th Congress? I took it to mean, ako for me if we're going to look at the substance of the order of the impeachment court, the Senate impeachment court, they are really talking to the 20th Congress. Ganon. Kasi kahit anong isubmit ng 19th Congress ngayon, the 20th Congress has to agree with everything that the 19th Congress is saying. Before the 20th Congress, before the impeachment complaint can really go back to the Senate impeachment court and for the Senate impeachment court to act on it. So kumbaga parang ang talagang kausap dyan ng Senate is the 20th Congress with regards to the 1-year bar rule and with regards to the crossover issue. Kasi the 1-year bar rule and the prior impeachment complaint whatever the stand of the 19th Congress has to be verified or has to be adopted by the 20th Congress. 'Di ba? Kasi integral 'yun dun sa crossover issue. Which is the number 2 the second paragraph of the order. Ikaw ano bang mga observation mo nitong mga nakakaraang araw tungkol sa mga pangyayari, yung 18-5 votes and any significant observation that you took note?
Well, the most significant is that number one, the 19th Congress sitting as an impeachment court. Well, the Senate of the 19th Congress sitting as an impeachment court remanded it to the House of Representatives, no? And I saw two things there, no? Una, because they are pressed for time, hindi na nila kaya. That's why may pangalawang order, and that second paragraph of that order, no, asking the 20th Congress, the lower house specifically, of the 20th Congress, kung gusto pa ba nilang ituloy yon. Meaning to say, officially, the 19th Congress is communicating to the 20th Congress na sila na ang magdesisyon kung itutuloy pa ba nila. Pero yung unang order, which is to certify na hindi nga labag sa konstitusyon at i-explain yung circumstances of the first 3 impeachment complaints in relation to the 4th complaint and why it did not violate the constitutional provision banning multiple impeachments, no, filed in 1 year against the same impeachable officer. Seems to me that the Senate as an impeachment court, para bang meron na silang armor, kumbaga, na sinuot, no? Para kung sakali man na may desisyon yung Korte Suprema doon sa petisyon ni Inday questioning the same constitutionality of the 4th impeachment complaint, eh medyo insulated na yung Senate Impeachment Court of the 19th Congress. And secondly, the Senate of the 20th Congress now, if they decide to take up the same impeachment complaint and constitute themselves as an impeachment court of the 20th Congress, meron na rin silang basihan. Galing mismo sa Senado of the 19th Congress as an impeachment court at galing mismo sa 19th Congress na lower house. Now, what is very significant din doon sa nakita ko doon, Joey, is yung botohan doon at yung debate doon sa sa floor. Kasi nakikita talaga natin na itong impeachment trial, no, it is sabi nila it's quasi-judicial, both quasi-judicial and quasi-political, no. But we already saw na it's more political rather than it is judicial, no. Hindi yan kalahati judicial, kalahati political. It's more or less political in nature, pero ang sinusundan nila ay yung kanilang rules, no, based on judicial rules, no, adopting the rules of court. In fact, they're also they formulated their own rules. In fact, they did not formulate their own rules, Joey. Resolution 39, I think, is just the Senate of the Philippines adopting the rules of the Senate of the U.S. Congress. The rules of impeachment doon, about 95% now, sabi nila, ang inadapt nila from the impeachment rules of the U.S. Senate, no? So, ibig sabihin nun, na talagang politika at makikita mo naman din doon sa botohan talagang politika yan. That's why
no matter how they say na no, kailangan namin maging impartial kasi Senate judge. Kaya nga sabi ko, no, and good thing that Senator Bato recognizes this. Sabi ni Senator Bato, ang tawag dito, kung naghahanap kayo talaga ng impartial dito sa impeachment na to, Supreme Court lang yung po pwedeng maging ganon. So yung talaga magiging sobrang impartial about the impeachment, this is really this is really a political exercise trying to exercise a judicial a quasi-judicial function. Ay talaga yan, parang wag na tayong maglokohan, 'di ba? Wag na tayong maglokohan.
Kasi nga Joey, 'di ba? The framers of the Constitution, if they did not see that it is going to be a political process, hindi na lang nila ginawa 'yun na mag-try ang Senado as an impeachment court. Sinabi na lang sana sa Constitution na doon ka mag-file ng impeachment sa Supreme Court. Di ba? But the framers of the Constitution, in fact, I recognize that the impeachable official is an elected official. And therefore, the manner by which it will be decided should also be decided and prosecuted by elected officials as well. Meaning, everyone that is involved in the impeachment process are all elected officials of government. Therefore, by that alone, you can surmise or you can in fact conclude na it's a political process more than it is a judicial process. So yun lang. At,
and if they want to change the perception of the people that it is a political exercise, or at least if they want to minimize the political aspect of the impeachment court, for me, the Senate should do some measure in order to minimize the politicization of the process. Kasi hindi naman ganun din ang ginagawa na hindi rin naman ganun ang ginagawa na.
Alam mo Joey, Senate. Bakit siya nagiging political? Kasi nakikita natin broadcast on live TV.
Yeah.
But that is the reason every time there are oral arguments in the Supreme Court and in the Court of Appeals and even the Court of Tax Appeals, it's not open to the public. Precisely because there is still politicking going on and the arguments there are mas madugo pa doon sa argumentations doon sa Senado. Di ba? Audio nga lang ang pinaparinig natin pag may oral arguments doon sa Korte Suprema, and it's a collegial court composed of 15 justices. No? At mali yung sinasabi nila na I think it was Ping Lacson who said na di daw pwede mag-motion to dismiss yung isang senator judge. Itong si Ping Lacson, even a court judge, an ordinary judge sa RTC, if the complainant or the prosecution is
may mga motu proprio dismissal lalo na if there is an issue on jurisdiction. Well, doon nga ako nagtataka kasi Rizzo Ontiveros made it an issue na parang hindi kasi po pwedeng mag-motion to dismiss ang senator judge. Dapat ang nag-motion to dismiss yung party daw doon sa complaint, ganyan.
In defense,
no, I am not saying that but at least kahit paano nakapag-aral naman ako ng batas. Although in many situations, motion to dismiss would be considered as a prohibited pleading, ganyan, dilatory tactic, ganun. But most of the time, kung merong man isang process na kung saan binabawal ang motion to, kasi hindi naman lahat ng process bawal ang motion to dismiss Meron lang mga proseso na pinagbabawal yun kasi nga sinasabi na dilatory daw siya, ganon. But I'm looking at this in a more conceptual, not in a technical sense, because I'm going to leave the technical sense to the lawyers. But I'm just going to share with you how I understand it conceptually, okay? Even yung mga rules ng korte na nagsasabi na bawal ang motion to dismiss dahil siya ay dilatory tactic, ganyan. Madam, ang exception po nun is if your ground for motion to dismiss is about jurisdiction. Yun nga yung question dito Ang sinasabi nga dito ng impeachment court, did we really acquire jurisdiction on this impeachment complaint? Because the complaint seems like it is constitutional because it did not follow it did not pass the 1-year bar rule limitation of the Constitution. So constitutional jurisdictional yung grounds dito. So ibig sabihin, pwede yan. In fact, kahit nga yung korte, kahit nga yung mga judges, pwede nilang yun, gawing issue yun at the onset Kasi nga, pag hindi yun malinaw, lahat ng proseso nyo after that is going to be tainted. Kasi hindi mo alam kung ba't nag-acquire ba kayo talaga ng jurisdiction dyan sa complaint na yan o hindi. Diba? And so, kaya nga parang si Rizzo Ontiveros, of course, syempre, naman to talagang, it's a show itong mga itong nangyayaring impeachment trial na ito. At the end of the day, it's not really about what is right based on the rules, what is it's really gonna come down with votes. Ayun.
Of course.
Kuya, wait lang ha, may babasahin lang ako kasi merong magandang comment dito si Ma'am Grant Buena Joy Mesa. Hindi ko ma-share kasi ang haba ng comment niya. Sabi niya, number 1, any alleged constitutional infirmities cannot be resolved or addressed by the mere certification to the contrary. Do we expect the purportedly erring body to certify their admission of a wrong? Besides, even a certified nila na compliant sila sa constitutional provisions, it does not preclude the senator judges to rule on the dismissal for constitutional violation or acquittal should there be a trial. For me, parang superficial yung stipulation requiring certification, which is incidental dun sa remanding of the case. Sabi ni Sir Grant Buena Joy Mesa. Actually, I agree. Pero tingin ko, ginawa yun ng Senate for due diligence purposes para hindi lang sila maputukan ng bonggang-bongga kung sakaling later on na magkaroon ng Supreme Court decision na mali. At least sasabihin na may plausible deniability si Senate, sasabihin ni Senate, oy, hindi tanong kami. Pina-certify namin yan sa ganyan-ganyan. Kasi alam naman namin na at the end of the day, it is the Supreme Court who's going to decide whether the complaint follows the constitutional provision or not. Ganyan. Agree ako kay ma'am dito. Tapos number 2, sabi niya, Chief Justice can preside the impeachment of the VP. I think this is an action that would actually lessen manage the political aspect of the no? Kung Supreme Court yung nag-preside. Kung Supreme Court Justice yung nag-preside. Sabi niya, Chief Justice can preside the impeachment of the VP. I subscribe to the opinion of Dean Gatdula. It is reasonable and ultimately practical. Section 2 of Article 7 of the 1987 Constitution provides that VP may be removed from office in the same manner as the President. Article 11 provides that CJ shall preside in the impeachment proceeding against the President. The same procedure may also be observed in the impeachment of the VP following Section 2 of Article 7. Para kasing meron conflict of interest if SP, yung successor will preside on the possible removal of his predecessor. Sobrang laki ng at stake, and I agree. Kaya nga, for me, dapat harapin talaga ng Senate Impeachment Court that this is a political exercise. And you, as an impeachment court, your job is to minimize the politicization of the process. At magagawa nyo sana yon kung nag-agree kayo na ang magpe-preside ng impeachment process is the Supreme Court, is a Supreme Court Justice. Yun sana yung ginawa ninyo para medyo mabawas-bawasan yung political process lang naman yan. Yeah, it is a political process, but the Senate Impeachment Court is trying to manage it. How? By deciding among themselves that, or at least, kasi dito ang sinasabi, ang argument ng mga lawyers dito it is a constitutional requirement that the Vice President is going to be, the process applicable to the Vice President is the same as the President, in which case dapat Supreme Court Justice yung nagpe-preside nung impeachment. Had they done that, at least kahit papaano, magkakaroon ng impression na ay binabawasan nila yung pagiging political ng prosesong ito. That could have been that could have been done, but they didn't. Anyway, ayan. So Kuyang, go, may ka pa?
Well, yeah, I agree with Grant, and well, I depart in his opinion na yung kanina binasa mo, kasi nga the Constitution has given so much leeway to the Senate as an impeachment trial court to formulate their own rules. And balikan natin kanina, there is a presumption of regularity in the conduct or in the discharge of functions of any official or government official. Meaning, ang ginawa ng Senado or lower house, there was presumption of regularity na it followed the Constitution. However, there is also a presumption of regularity for the impeachment court na i-remand nila at ipa-certify nila na hindi nga sila nag-violate. It's akin to a certification of non-forum shopping when you file cases in multiple courts, or you file cases na parang nasa korte na at meron kang ibang final na parang kapareho sa isang kaso na yon, So again, there is so much leeway talaga because the Constitution does not dictate the specific rules to govern. In fact, it was given to the Senate the responsibility to formulate their own rules in impeachment, and the Senate deciding as a collegial body in the impeachment court, as a collegial court, voting 18-5 na i-remand yan with the accompanying orders, already made that rule entrenched, at etched into the impeachment rules, It's already a precedent,
Ang yata nilang argument nila is that the Constitution actually provides for, kasi they cannot, of course, the impeachment court, the Senate can actually make their own rules when they own impeachment rules. However, their impeachment rules must always abide the Constitution. I think the argument of Dean Gatdula is saying that the Constitution says that when you impeach the Vice President, it must be in the same manner as when you impeach a president. So when you impeach a president, ang dapat na presiding judge ay Chief Justice. So therefore, following the constitutional requirement na dapat pareha sila ng manner ng pag-impeach sa Vice President at yung President, dapat in-apply mo yung requirement na yon na Chief Justice dapat yung So that is something that cannot be altered by the own rules of Senate Impeachment Court. Kasi nga, the source cannot be higher than the source cannot be higher than the source.
Pero explicit ba sa Constitution yan, Joey? Na there is a naming the Supreme Court Justice, the Chief Justice of the presiding officer?
They cited a constitutional provision
Section 2,
on
that. 11?
Section 2, Article 7.
Okay.
Yun yung sinasite nila.
Well, in any case, sabi nga ni former Chief Justice Adolf Ascuna, while the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of the law and decides on the questions of especially constitutional questions, it is also acceptable that all government officials in the discharge of their function in one way or another are also given their own, is also afforded the luxury of interpreting the Constitution their own way. In this case, the Senate and the House of
they would enjoy.
Representatives.
Tama ka dun, kuya, ngayon sinasabi mo kanina na whatever they're going to do right now, it's going to be regarded as regular. Kasi nga, kung ano man yung interpretation na magagawin nila ngayon, it's going to be regarded as regular. So kaya nga, sabi rin ni Justice Ascuna na the remanding of the case back to the House of Representatives, although it is unusual, it is allowable. So kumbaga, we have to respect that kasi talagang ano naman talaga siya, part naman talaga yun ng power ng impeachment court to do such kind of order. I think yung issue on the Supreme Court Justice being a presiding officer is separate and distinct doon sa ginawa ng Senate Impeachment Court of remanding the case. Two different issues. Yung of course yung sinwar in nila si Cheese bilang presiding officer, that can be questioned in the proper forum, which is the Supreme Court. But right now, since ginawa nila yan at wala pa naman nagko-question sa Supreme Court, it's going to be regarded as regular, 'di ba? Until manalify siya sa proper forum. Ayun.
Pero Joey, ano bang tingin mo doon sa kasi conflicting yung move ng lower house eh. Nagpasa sila ng resolution, as you've said, sinignify lang or pinirmahan lang ng 3 miyembro, no? Answering or replying to the first order of the remand notice, no, the constitutional question, no? Pero they also did not officially receive the remand notice. So,
sabi nila? Talaga ba? Sinabi nila? Di ba? So, inunahan na nila. Inunahan na nila na nag-resolution sila.
Kaya nga siguro 3 lang yung pumirma muna. Kasi parang lang yun eh. Parang siguro, even if it's already a resolution in the floor, parang draft resolution lang nila to gauge what the Senate will do. Kasi officially, hindi pa nila tinanggap ang remand notice. So, ano sa tingin mo yung optics dito?
Ako kasi ang stand ko kasi diyan, yung talagang essence ng order ng impeachment court really lies on the 20th Congress. Dalawang part yung utos ng 'di ba? Dalawang part yung utos ng impeachment court. Wait lang ha. Ayan. Punta tayo dito sa dalawang part yung utos ng impeachment court.
Ang first part can be complied by the 19th Congress, pero yung second part, we'll have to wait for the 20th Congress to spring into existence on July 28.
Correct, oo. But I have to say na yung nila dito, yung sorry. I have to say na yung sige na, punta lang ako kay Prof. Malu, pinost niya yun eh.
Malu.
Para lang makita natin yung eto, ayan. Ayan.
So yung first Jenny BF, hello. Si Jenny nandito. Sige, okay.
Yung first na nila, di ba, the House of Representatives certified the non-violation. So ito raw yung sinasagot ng 19th Congress. So wala namang problema kung mag-resolution sila diyan tapos mag-kembot-kembot yung 19th. Actually, for me, kahit anong gawin ng 19th Congress ngayon, pwede nilang gawin kahit anong gusto nilang gawin. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a scrap of a paper. Kasi the 20th Congress has to adapt whatever illusion they would argue now dito sa 19th Congress. Hindi, kinumply namin. Hindi, ginanito namin. Emirate, hindi. Ganyan. Kahit anong sabihin nila ngayon, if the 20th Congress does not agree, patay ang impeachment ninyo.
Yan na nga, Joey, no? Yan na nga, Joey, no? I think the 20th Congress, yung lower house, i-adapt pa rin nila yan. The same impeachment complaint, and they will communicate to the Senate of the 20th Congress na kaya pa namin yan, we will pursue it, i-prosecute namin yan. Ang question is, will the 20th Congress Senate constitute themselves into an impeachment court to try the same case? Baka, hindi pa muna mag-constitute as an impeachment court, madugo na yung debate dyan kung tatanggapin ba nila.
I think, kaya nga for me, this, look at Coco and Risa. Di ba si Coco ang argument, remand, ganyan, dismissal din naman yan. Pinagsasabi nyo, ganyan. Kasi sa totoo lang ha, if we're really going to look at how complicated the process will be, it is as good as pinatay na nila yung impeachment. Kasi nga, this specific order of the Senate Impeachment Court, okay, yung number 1, sasagutin ng 19th Congress, di sumagot kayo, ano ngayon? Ano ngayon, i-adapt ba yan ng 20th Congress? Makukuha nyo ba yung enough vote? Yung kasi, the 20th Congress has to, has to agree. Can they reach the same 245 votes in 20th Congress? Ganyan. Will they, will they still get the 2/3 vote requirement by sa 20th Congress, sa impeachment na yan? Will the 20th Congress agree that there is no violation of the Constitution with regards to the 1-year bar rule? Mahaba-haba pang usapan yan.
Tama.
Diba? Mahaba-haba pang usapan yan. Ngayon, depende sa magiging attitude ng 20th Congress. Unang-una, si Martin pa ba magiging speaker sa 20th Congress?
Yun ang problema, Joey. Kasi on July 28, a few hours before the SONA, mag-convene yung Congress, both the Senate and the lower house. They have to elect a speaker first. Before the SONA.
Yes, exactly. So ngayon, ang unang tanong dyan, si Martin pa ba ang magiging speaker? Okay? And I have to say that Martin is really having a difficult time right now. Ilang beses na siyang nagsasabi, hindi, I still have the support of the majority, kinembot, ganyan-ganyan. O sino-sino yun? Ba't wala kang nilalabas na pangalan? Sino-sino yan? So, ibig sabihin, itong si Martin, kumikinet lang yan, nagpipikaking lang yan si Martin na, I still have the support of the majority, kinembot. Eh, anong pangalan? Sino sumusuport sa'yo? Diba? Bakit nauna pang ibalita na si Doc Frasco ay hindi ka susuporta?
Ay, Joey, speaking of Duke Frasco, alam mo ba? Di ba yung courtesy resignation ni Cristina hindi tinanggap ni BBM? Na-retain siya? Pero alam mo ba na ang bilas ni Martin na si Terence Calatrava na siyang presidential assistant for the Visayas ay pinalitan at tinanggap?
Yeah.
Ang asawa ni Terence, kapatid ni Yeda Romualdez.
Yeah.
Meaning to say, wala na tayo dito sa Cebu.
Ibig sabihin, Martin has no backing from Malacanang anymore.
Yes.
And this is also corroborating the statement of Toby Chanco na sinasabi ni Toby Chanco na merong mga kongresista na lumalapit sa kanya asking, paano na yung ibang mga pinangako sa amin for the impeachment? Asa na yun? I-release na ba? Ineme. Ganyan. And then, Toby Chanco saying na walang ganun sinabi ang Pangulo, wala siyang ginarantee. Kasi nga, lahat ng pinangako ni Martin, it has to be agreed by the President kasi siya naman talaga may hawak ng budget eh. So siya yung mag-a-approve ng release niyan. Diba sinabi?
FLR.
Oo. Ngayon, nung sa mga interviews ni Toby Chanco, sinabi niya, 90 billion yung budget na kinembot, 30 billion lang daw yung in-approve na ma-release. The rest, ayaw na raw ipa-release ni Bongbong. And these are the, I think, hindi yung direktang sinabi ni Toby, but I think it has something to do with the funding promised by Tambi. So ngayon, kayo mga kongresista dyan, kung susuporta kayo kay Tambi, wala na siyang funding. Ayaw na ni BBM. Diba? So ngayon, kaya nga sabi ko, it is very, very interesting to see how this is going to pan out. Kasi pagdating ng 20th Congress, in essence, back to zero to si Tambi. Mamimili ka uli ng suporta dyan eh. Mamimili ka ulit. Ngayon, ang tanong, may pondo ka ba? Eh, halos ubus na ang 2025 budget. Obligated na yung 95%, right? Ng 2025 budget. Saan ka kukuha ng pera?
90% by April.
Yeah. Saan ka kukuha ng pera? Paano ipapangako mo sa mga congressman? Eh, naubos nyo na yung social amelioration, yung mga akap, tupad at mga kung ano-anong mga cash assistance program, naubos nyo na nung election yan. Ayaw ka ng back-upan ni BBM. Diba? So ano ngayon yung karot na ibibigay mo sa mga kongresista come 20th Congress? So ang sakit ng ulo dito. Kaya nga sabi ko, ang pinaka masakit ang ulo dito sa impeachment complaint na ito na niremand sa Congress is si Tambi. Sakit ng ulo niya. And I think parang si Tambi dito, siguro iniisip ni Tambi, putya sana dinismiss nyo na lang.
Joey, dalawa sila ang sumasakit talaga yung ulo. Siguro yung isang parte diyan, hindi lang ulo pati batok. Sina Dilima, Chiljoc, mga Pinklawan at Dilawan.
Yeah, correct. I'm pretty sure, no? But itong mga to nakapigibak lang to kay nakapigibak lang to kay Martin eh, 'di ba?
Kaya nga.
So, ngayon, if the impeachment is gonna go back to the 20th Congress and the position of the 20th Congress is essential doon sa pagtuloy nitong impeachment complaint na to, which is by the way, I think para sa part ng sa part ng Senate, ng Senate Impeachment Court, is something that they have to, I think they did the right thing here, no? Yung ibalik to sa Congress. Pag-isipan nyo mabuti, talagang gusto nyo bang i-impeach o hindi? Ganyan. The best scenario for me as a part ng Duterte support group, the best scenario for me is outright dismissal. Pero itong ginawa nila na ibabalik sa Congress, masakit na masakit talaga ulo batok nito nila Tambi, nila ng mga Yellow, ng mga Bayan Black, ganyan because right now, paano nyo i-convince yung 20th Congress? Wala na kayong karot. 'Di ba? Wala na kayong karot. So I mean, grabing putahan ang mangyayari sa 20th Congress bago nyo ma-convince yung 2/3 para ibalik yung impeachment complaint na yan sa impeachment court, sa Senate, 'di ba?
Pero ang malaking tanong diyan, Joey, kung mag-constitute ba as an impeachment court ang 20th Congress na Senado?
That's another
question. Kasi
that's a separate debate, ano? That's a separate debate in Senate. Correct.
Iba na rin yung iba na rin yung composition nila, 'di ba? So,
somebody might Marcoleta is gonna argue hard on that.
Yes. So, yun, madugo yung debatehan dyan. Kasi they can also always move na i-dismiss yan based, again, on their interpretation of the Constitution, na even if certified yan ng 19th Congress, they are not convinced na constitutional yan. Because they can actually argue na hindi yan constitutional, di ba? Because precisely nga, tama si Bato at yung iba pa na nagsasabi, ang final decision kung constitutional ba talaga yung fourth impeachment ay yung Korte Suprema lang. And absent that decision, pwedeng sila, ngayon, mas superior yung Senado kasi superior ngayon na ang impeachment court. Korte sila prosecution lang yung lower house. So, they cannot do anything about it if the court dismisses it. For whatever reason.
Yeah. So, ang daming pagdadaanan nito bago to matuloy ulit. I think this is a huge breathing room for Inday Sara. Kaya nagwawala sa galit yung mga Yellow Pig. Mas stroke sila. Alam nila na in essence, they have to restart everything all over again. And how are you going to do that? You do not have money anymore. Di ba? Wala na kayong pera ngayon. Nakuha na the 20, kapag kunwari, if we're going to look at the 20th Congress, kung kunwari ikaw, magkakaroon ng impeachment concession, syempre ngayon, yung mga kongresista, hindi na sila papayag ng basta-basta lang nabibigyan sila ng pondo. Diba? Kasi now, the representative in the House of Representatives, the representative in the 20th Congress, they now know na if I am going to endorse an impeachment against Inday Sara, this is going to hit my political career very, very hard. Look at what happened sa 2025 election. So, hindi mo na ito mabibili ng basta-basta. Pag binili mo to, kasama na dito yung hazard pay. Di ba? Pag tinanggap ko yan at in-endorse ko yung impeachment ni Inday Sara, I mean, that should be equivalent to the retirement money, no? Yung tipong after ng 20th Congress, pwedeng wala na akong career sa politika. And that is costly. That is very, very costly. Oo.